That's right, because we got to go from the negative, we got to go to the positive, we got to go to that reoccurring weekly segment that everybody is just hanging on the edge of their seats for. That's right, it's Xycia's Cyberpunk 2077 weekly update.
So we are 1 week away from the actual release, so we think, of Cyberpunk 2077. 1 week, 7 days. So there was
be off.
The first thing that was mentioned is CD Projekt Red assured investors, because obviously investments are a big deal, and obviously when things get pushed back and things are in question, it starts to fumble their stock. And they want to make sure that those investors are still happy and still backing CD Projekt Red in this case. And actually I've been slightly dabbling in the stock market and stuff, but I did realize their stock just today started going up slightly, not much. But it wasn't really doing much recently, and then as of like today, I started seeing the price kind of going up a little bit in their stock. So it definitely does make a difference. But yeah, so they basically came out and said once they came out with two things. In their they had their third quarter consolidated financial results, and one of the things was The Witcher was still killing it. It earned the company about 28 million in revenues on the quarter, mostly generated by sales of the game from the Witcher universe, the CFO said. And then two, most importantly, is that Cyberpunk 2077 is still scheduled to arrive on December 10th. So for them to tell their financial investors, hey, game is still being released, don't worry, we're good. That's a big leap, because we know that if they're telling their financial people, like their backers, that this is going to happen, it's probably going to happen, unless something just really went south, like the office, I don't know, had a major flood or something. Like that would be the only thing I could, I don't know. I don't even know if that would stop them at this point. But so anyway, that's good news. So definitely seems like 7 days away from that, and that's always good.
So moving on with more news about Cyberpunk 2077, this actually goes to a popular streamer that was discussed in the game in these last weeks that everybody should know, because anything that involves shooting pretty much jives with him. And it's, of course, Shroud, who, if you don't know, is one of the world's foremost well-known FPS players. He's, I don't know, not human, as far as I'm concerned, robot-like FPS reflexes.
Yeah, he was
giving some input.
Counter-Strike, that's his background, professionally playing Counter-Strike and then going into everything else.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what FPS he plays. If it has guns, he's going to be good at it.
Yeah,
is what it seems.
Really,
actually,
really
if it's just
good.
a game in general, he's going to be good at it from what it seems. But he was talking about Cyberpunk 2077, and of course, when you're releasing a game of this magnitude, opinions from people like this are important. He feels pretty confident about the game. Everything he has shared, for the most part, is that he is confident the game is going to be good in almost every facet that it can be good in. Aside from one thing that he worries about, which is fair, which is the actual gunplay, the combat in the game. Is it going to be worthwhile? Is it going to work the way that players are going to want it to work? Is it going to feel smooth? Is it going to be responsive? Because based, on the footage that we've seen, we don't really know how the combat's going to feel. It's one thing to see how it plays. It's a very different thing to actually play it. And I think a really good example is we jump all the way back to games like Demon's Souls. You could watch somebody play Demon's Souls and think one thing, and then when somebody gives you a controller and puts you up against a mob in that game or a boss, you start thinking something completely different about how that game plays. So that was a concern. Additionally, he did make mention of the fact that the game does look great on both the Xbox Series X and the Xbox One X. However, obviously the Xbox One X graphics do look dumbed down to some degree. And from what we've seen from some leaked videos, the Xbox non-One X graphics do look even less so, and there are some issues there, but they could very well be corrected with the day one patch, so that's something to look forward to and see what happens. But just general, he was voicing his concerns about if the gameplay itself for combat is going to be good or not in the upcoming game. So we'll have to wait until December 10th of 2021 to find out.
Yeah, I think it's a valid concern, and because it's not an FPS, it's an RPG. It's an RPG with
Right.
some FPS type elements to it, but it's still rolling dice.
Yeah,
So
they definitely said that.
he may not
a
like
few
the feel
times.
of that.
Yeah.
So the other thing, there was this great Verge article, or The Verge, sorry, which I was just fascinated by. Great title too, even though I don't agree with it. It's kind of clickbaity a little bit, but I still don't agree with it. It says living the, like, this is, he's talking about Xycia here. Well, if Xycia could do this, he's talking about Xycia here. Living the full Cyberpunk 2077 lifestyle will cost you over $2,000 and your dignity. And I don't agree with the dignity part. That's kind of BS, but that's the clickbaity part. But what he did is he looked at kind of the tie-in, the brand tie-in products that were being offered that were including Cyberpunk 2077, but related to it. So he starts with the game, it's like $50 or $60 depending on where you buy it and what discounts you get. And then, he pops in with, what I had reported on last week, that OnePlus 8T 2077 cell phone. That's $850 and only available in certain markets. He goes on to the, $490 Secret Labs Cyberpunk chair, which he doesn't like because the excessive amount of yellow. I think it's fantastic. I mean, I don't think there's enough orange on my chair as it is. But still, each to their own. He continues on with the $400 Xbox One X, which I love his thing here. It's not the worst limited edition console design I've seen. I mean, at least it's not a big yellow block. I agree 100% there. That's an accurate statement. What I don't agree with is, why would you get an Xbox One X right now? Well, at least a limited edition one, because you're going to pay full price for that. And this is not the time to pay full price for an Xbox One X. And then, of course, what Xycia has reported on earlier, which is the limited edition, only so many made, super cool looking Cyberpunk 2077 Razer mouse, which sold out instantaneously. So good luck finding it, because they only made 45,000 of them and it still sold out nearly instantaneously.
Yep.
So there's a couple other things he talks about, is like some mouse pads and some phone cases and a couple, some headphones they throws in there. Actually, the headphones are pretty sharp looking. I mean, seriously, that's not too bad looking. And, a Samurai, which is Johnny Silverhand's band varsity jacket for $58. Even a backpack for another $112. Not paying that for much backpack. And he even goes so far as like throwing in the face mask for $13.
Right.
And yeah, so Rockstar, which I took a picture of, I think I sent that to you, Mike.
Yeah.
One day. You just add these all up and if you want to get everything that's branded Cyberpunk 2077, costs you about $2,000 or so. Personally, I think I'm going to stick with the game.
Yep.
If I could get a hold of one of those mice, maybe, but I think I'm okay with that. I'll stick with my $60.
Yeah, I'll stick with the game. We'll see. The game impresses me, which I hope it will, which I definitely think it will. But you never know. I mean, this is the world where everybody releases half-built games and they promise to fix it and they never do. So
Comes out like Anthem.
yeah. Oh man. Let's not get started on Anthem.
Okay, this is not EA.
Oh, terrible.
I mean, The Witcher had problems when it came out too, and they fixed them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not
you heard
expecting
of Fallout 76 introducing Cyberpunk
God.
2077.
I am not expecting.
Bite your tongue. Bite your tongue.
I'm not expecting this game to be
pessimistic.
100% flawless, polished, because that's just not the way it goes. People are going to find things. Things are going to react differently, especially on PC. There's so
This
many
is not
different.
Baldur's Gate 3.
There's so many different variables when it comes to PC gaming, because everybody has a different rig, different cards, different motherboards, different RAM, different OS. I mean, it's just it's insane.
If it plays like trash on my computer, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. No,
I mean, you got like a 3090 coming. It better not.
So if
It's already in there.
If you are one of those people who do already have a copy of this somehow, they came out and again, CD Projekt Red came out again and said, we ask you kindly not to stream or play or release any similar content before December 9th at 12 p.m. Pacific. Says, we will send Max Tac, you know, the guys who take down videos, after everyone who does. And if you're not familiar with Max Tac, it's the Cyberpunk universe. It's the squad that's basically the cyber SWAT paramilitary branch of the police that are taken to take down the cyber psychos, who are people basically that have nothing left. It's just the cyborg parts of them.
Cybernetic implants.
Yeah, cybernetic implants have taken
They're
over
more
their
cybernetic
body,
than
and they don't
human.
have any way to like think like a human anymore. So it's just they're just like the psychopaths.
Now, wait, do you know this because of the article, or do you know this because you've been reading up your lore in the RPG books that you got from Humble Bundle?
I'm going to say a little bit more than just this article, but yeah, that's pretty neat. You should definitely check that out. But yeah, it's interesting to say that you know, so they're not threatening us. Obviously, if you come out and do something really stupid and, you know, stream it and do something crazy, they're going to come after you. They're going to, you know, come some lawsuits with you. But as far as, you know, being nice, like, just don't be dumb. Just let the game come out, let the game be, you know, actually played, and then let people actually, you know, get their own opinions from it at that point. So that is what they have said. Oh wait, there's more.
But wait, yeah, there's always more. Well, not always more. We'll see. CD Projekt Red has shown off their photo mode for Cyberpunk 2077. Now, the article goes into detail to describe everything that seems to be within the photo mode, because it's more than just filters. There's changes of effects. You can change exposure, contrast, highlights. I'm just like literally looking at one simple
you can change apertures. I mean, you can change shutters. I mean, it's like literally having a photographer take the photo of like whatever picture you're trying to do.
Exactly. And there's like, it seems like there's going to be hundreds like varying stickers and things to add. You can pose your character.
The posing your character is actually pretty neat.
Yeah, you can pose your character, change like, you know, obviously camera centering, depth of field, all those things. So their photo mode is going to be very extensive. And actually, watching through the photo mode trailer, it reminded me so much of how in depth the photo mode is in No Man's Sky, actually. No Man's Sky is a really in-depth photo mode that allows you to do a lot of these things as well, minus it doesn't have stickers and posing for your characters. But I did think it was interesting that it looks like they like took a similar idea to that and just embellished on it a ton. Like, it is really robust for such a small mechanic in the game. So it should be really exciting to see what people come out with, because there's going to be some real cool-ass screenshots so long as the game plays right and looks right.
So another game that was garbage when it was released? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think that was garbage when it was released. But look at it
now.
You know,
I think these stickers, they actually look pretty cool. I got one up on screen where like it's got, you know, the rays bursting out from a center. This moment was brought to you by Fritos. No, we're not sponsored by Fritos, but hey, no, Fritos, talk to us. We'll take a sponsorship. Anyway, I
don't know if I want.
No,
Fritos.
I mean, like, it's not just. It's even got like, you know, these diagonal framing changes. It looks like there's a lot you can do with these photos, both from the traditional photo editing side of like what Xycia was talking about with like the aperture and the, you know, exposure and all and saturation, all that, but also the social media side of like, you know, throwing on these extra things that weren't in the additional photo to kind of tell your story. And I'm not one to like expound upon a photo mode at all. And even to me, this has got my attention. I mean, this actually looks kind of cool.
It does. And it seems like they're also trying to get it to where you can also make like your phone backgrounds, your screensavers, your wallpaper, to make it seem very streamlined for all of those things. Like not just a screenshot, like, oh, I remember I took the screenshot, I killed somebody, but it's like literally trying to make art out of the photos you're doing. So using all
the story,
yeah, like the actual photorealism type of like aperture, exposure, and all that kind of things like that, but also adding the stickers to make it flare, and then also changing the contrast and the different filters they have to really make it pop to where whatever kind of look that you're looking for. And then the poses, which is to me the coolest part about it, is the poses are neat because you can take whatever your character is doing at that moment in the game. It literally takes the character and then you can pose them in any kind of different, like all these different things you can do for poses. So it may be like you're on the ground because you're bleeding, but the scene looks so cool. You can pose your person back up, like doing a little peace sign, because that's just what you want the picture to look like, and that's fine. And it does that through the photo editing, so that's pretty neat.
Or it doesn't look agonizing enough, so you like bend the arm back even further.
Yeah. So, all right. So I said we're a week out. We're close. The things that they actually announced was like today they said the unlock and the preload times have been announced. So right now, if you're on the Eastern Coast, what's going to happen if an Eastern time is they've said that the preloads will start at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Fuck.
So New York. And then depending on your location, anything past that. So it'll be nice for that. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. That way you can go ahead and preload the game, have it ready to go. So as soon as it's ready, midnight, you'll be able to play it. Which it looks like it's going to be UTC time. So I think it's going to be about 5 a.m. when you'll be actually able to play it on actual launch day. So check that out. But yeah, so that's the news. We've got literally
the damn yellow in their map was too close to green, so it chroma keyed out.
No, it looked fine. I saw it pretty fun. Interesting.
You did, but they didn't when it posted to the.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah. That's funny. So
yeah, it chroma keyed out. It was terrible.
So the thing to note is obviously, I see it. We're always on Thursdays, right? So by the time we talk next week, you guys will already been playing it. We'll already been playing it, and we'll already have some slight feedback, not spoilers, because we're not going to try to spoil the game for you. And the way that the game is apparently built is there's a lot of different ways to play the game, and there's not going to be the same story. We may all three play it. And we'll all go through and play it, but we all may play it in a different way. So we may all have new stories to talk to each other about.
Yeah, I'm still toying with the idea of taking off that Thursday.
Yeah,
I'm already off.
I can't take off, but unfortunately that's fine. I'll still play it. I'll still
beat
play
him
it.
to
So.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you doing? Are you doing Outland, Corpo, or Street Thug?
Hey, I don't know yet. I just don't know yet.
I mean, I'm kind of Corpo, but I want to do the Outlander.
Yeah, I just don't know yet. I don't know.
I think the Outlander's so cool because like it's the whole city is alien to them,
right?
And different.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to read some lore. Like there's so much lore, but I don't know. We'll have to see when I start playing the game.
I don't have a damn clue. I'm gonna get to that screen. I'm just gonna be like, this one. I'm going to make my character, and we're just going to go ham. You know what? I've decided I'm going to take that Thursday off. I'm going to start on Wednesday when I finish work. I'm not going to stop playing until I go back to work.
Demurin is legit going to roll a physical 1d4 and ignore the 4s and reroll.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stream all of it. Just all of it in all of its glory or terribleness. If the game is shit, still count on me to keep pounding away at it.
You know what I think I should do is I don't know how the character creation is going to be yet, but what I should do is actually take the tabletop rules as far as roles and then make my character based on real roles. Yes. Because the way that so there's two ways to do it. There's the buy point, like the buy system, and then there's the full front, just roll, and whatever you get, you get. And the way the game, at least the tabletop version is set up, like you can really have some really fucked up characters, and like some of them
awesome,
right? And then some of them, like, what my favorite part was that like the clothing, like you get to roll for clothing, like what type of clothes you would be wearing, and one of the options is nude, and I thought that was hilarious. Like you could literally roll nude. So yeah, we'll have to see. I may do that and just see what I come up with.
Legit, every stream you do, and I know we're trying to get to break here, but every stream you do, Xycia, you should at one point or another say what's different between the game and the role-playing rules.
Oh Jesus, that'd be a lot.
At least one small thing, not bit by bit the whole thing. I mean, just at one point say something.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll check it out, see what we can come up with. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot. And I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of similarities too, because I mean it's the way they have definitely taken the lore for this. Because I mean, just like the Witcher series, they definitely go in depth of what they're actually going by, like their books or whatever. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean the only thing too, the difference is Cyberpunk 2020 is based on 2020. This is 2077, and Cyberpunk Red's somewhere in the middle. So this is going to be somewhere in the future than that. So we're gonna have to see kind of where this the future actually goes into, which some of that's already explained.
Yeah, game's gonna release on next Thursday. It's gonna be terrible. Come at me, CD Projekt Red.
We'll talk about it. I hope it's not terrible.
Pessimistic.
So with that being said, this is sad because this is the last Cyberpunk weekly update of the year.
No.
I mean, really
no,
is.
There will be another one because it releases. You will have a Cyberpunk 2077 weekly update next week because you'll have played it.
But it's not the same.
No, it's the same.
All right, we'll have one more. This will be one more. We'll have one more.
At least one more.
All right, and with that being said, we're going to take a few minutes for a word from our sponsor. So hang out.